Hey everyone's Jackel Wolf back in Skyfactory One with another Skyfactory 101 tutorial video. Now, if you've been following along, you know that we are kind of working our way through the task book. Last episode, or actually the episode before the last episode, we completed the Automate Your Cobblestone Generator task. Now, we did that by crafting ourselves or building ourselves this multi-block cobblestone generator. Basically, it works by placing a block of lava over top of a barrel of water that creates a block of cobblestone, and then we automatically pull that block of cobblestone out into our little storage drawer down here. Now, you can see this storage drawer is full. It has got 2,048 cobblestone in it. That is basically the 32 stacks of cobblestone. It actually didn't take it very long to do it. I think we timed it at about 15 seconds per stack of cobblestone. So we probably did this in about 10 minutes, if not a little bit less. But this is a very, very efficient early game cobblestone generator. Way easier to make than some of the, block cobblestone generators. So now that we've got a, almost unlimited amount of cobblestone in our world, we can start doing some really, really cool things with it. We can start automating the whole crushing process with the sifting process and getting our resources. We can automate lava and a bunch of other things that are going to be really, really useful going forward. But the way I've placed it, it's going to be kind of hard for us to pipe off of this storage drawer in any sort of position other than down below. The reason I did that is that we've got another task here. Build a second layer to your island below the level you started from. So this is a very, very common thing. And it's a very, very useful thing to do in pretty much all of your Skyblock packs, is that you want a second layer to, put all of your ugly mechanical stuff, your pipes, all your machinery, things that you don't want up in your, top beautiful area. You want to build like a sort of a mechanical room down below. To do that, we've got a couple of different options. We could do something very, very simple as, just take a bucket of water and then just, place it off the side of our world, build a little bit of a pillar as we kind of ride it down, build a little base around that pillar, and then build off of that base. That's, easy enough, and that's a perfectly legitimate way of doing it. But in Skyfactory One and in a lot of other, Skyblock packs, there is something called an angel block. Now, the angel block is a block that you can place pretty much anywhere in the air rather than have to place it off of an existing block. So it is very, very useful when it comes to building platforms in the middle of nowhere. To make an angel block, it takes a gold ingot, a piece of obsidian, and 2 feathers. And all of this is fairly easy to get early on. Gold we've been getting from sifting. Obsidian is just water on top of a barrel of lava, which is sort of the opposite of what we've got going on with our cobblestone generator, and then the 2 feathers. And it's kind of funny that the 2 feathers here are what's stopping me from making this angel block, because we don't have mobs in our world yet. And we could make a little grassy area and wait for chickens to spawn, but that's something we can do in the future, and I'm not really worried about it, because there are 3 other options in Skyfactory One that we can use, and this is the Cyclic Scaffolding. So we've got a Replaceable Scaffolding, we've got a Fragile Scaffolding, and then we've got a Responsive Scaffolding. Now, to make the Fragile Scaffolding, this is the one that I used in my single player, blind playthrough world. It is just simply 5 sticks in a crafting table. You get 16 Fragile Scaffolding. Angel placement in midair decays over time. So when you place it, eventually it's going to break on its own. So that's going to be useful if you just want to make something like a temporary path or something like that. But it is pretty dangerous because you don't know when it's going to break. Now we're going to take those ones out. We've also got something called Replaceable Scaffolding. Now this is very similar to the Fragile Scaffolding, except that it won't break over time. Angel placement in midair, use a block on this to replace it. So this is really, really good if you want to build sort of a pre-built structure, and then you can go in afterwards and replace all the blocks very, very easy. So to make Replaceable Scaffolding, it is 6 sticks in a crafting table with a piece of dirt. Again, that gets you 16 pieces of scaffolding. So it's a really, really cheap recipe. And then last but not least, there is this Responsive Scaffolding. Angel placement in midair breaks itself all in the line. So this is probably more similar to the actual vanilla scaffolding that you make with the bamboo and the string in just regular vanilla Minecraft. To make Responsive Scaffolding, it is 6 sticks and then a piece of red dye. Now, you can get red dye a couple of different ways in our world. We could get it using flowers in the crafting table, but we will need a little bit of grass in our world. I don't have grass in my world yet, but it's something that we can, work towards. The other way we can get red dye is by growing beetroot. Now, Beetroot is very, very simple. All we're going to do is create ourselves a little bit of a farmland, plant our seeds in it, and then we just got to wait for it to grow. Waiting for it to grow, though, is a little bit of a long process. So we've got a couple of options early on in our world, one of which is going to be our watering can. Now, this is something we've used, in multiple different Skyblock packs. It is fairly simple to make, and it is completely upgradable as well in the future. To make a watering can, it is 4 iron, a wood bowl, and then 1 piece of bone meal. Now we go put it into our hand. If we go and right click over top of our farm, you can see nothing is happening. That is because this watering can is, it's basically empty. So all we're going to do is right click on a water source, and then we can go right click on our crop and it starts to grow. Something to keep in mind though is it does not actually run out of water. Once you fill it once, it's full. It is full and it will stay full pretty much for as long as you use it. And this is kind of an interesting thing. I've seen versions of it where it does run out of water and then you got to go refill it up afterwards and then kind of go from there. In this case, it just basically keeps on going. So don't have to worry about filling it up. It is a little bit slower of a process than some of the other watering cans, certainly some of the watering cans in other packs, but it is way, way quicker than waiting for it to grow naturally in your world here. So we're just going to go wait for this to finish. And there we go. We have now got some beetroot. We're going to go place that beetroot in a crafting station. There we go. We got some red dye. And actually, let's come over to this side. We'll go put the red dye in the crafting station with the 6 sticks. That gets us our responsive scaffolding. Angel placement in midair breaks itself all in a line. So that is all really well and good. So as a demonstration, let's try to get up a little bit higher. All right, so right from here, if we go and place it out in our world, kind of put it underneath us there, kind of pushed us down. The real cool thing, though, is you can actually climb up on this stuff. So I didn't really jump. I just pushed forward. I ended up climbing right up top of it. So this is really, really cool. If we go and shift click, we can put it down below us. If we go shift click on the right side, it builds out to the left. If we go on the north side, it builds out to the south. I'm actually just calling out those directions. I don't think it actually was north, east, and west. But depending on the direction that you're facing or placing it, it's going to go and, place in different areas. You see, there it is. That's that fragile I was talking about. It will randomly break over time. So this is a little bit dangerous to be building over top of a void. But if you just want some quick scaffolding, some quick, cheap scaffolding, the fragile scaffolding is definitely the way to go. Now, let's go. We're going to skip over to the responsive scaffolding now. Again, we're going to go place that in our world. And we can go also jump up and climb on it. Very similar. We place it in the direction we want it to go, and it will basically build in that direction. We go down. We can go down. This scaffolding, though, you saw when I was breaking the fragile scaffolding, was breaking it one at a time. I was not trying to vein mine it. If I go and I break this, it all comes together at once. So this is a lot more like the regular vanilla scaffolding where it sort of breaks in a line. In this case, it basically vein mines the whole thing, which is not too bad, especially if you want to build something and then break it down really, really quickly. Now, the most useful of the three, I think, is the replaceable scaffolding. So again, we're going to kind of jump up, place that in our world. We can kind of jump, climb, and again, we can make our little platform here, whatever direction that we want. We can go out here and out here. We got a nice, 3x4 platform really, really quickly. But, now that this is in place, I don't want it to be the scaffolding the whole time. I want it to be something, something like some cobblestone maybe. So we take our cobblestone, break. I'm just right-clicking on the block, and it's replacing it with the cobblestone, which is really, really cool. And you get your, scaffolding back as well, although I did lose a couple of them off the side there. Really, really easy to make your platform, your initial platform, just by doing the right click on the side and then coming back and replacing it with something cool a little bit later. So that is really, really cool. It is really, really useful. Actually, before I forget, let's get rid of this cobblestone because I don't think I lit it up very well. I don't want any mobs up top there. So like I said before, I think the replaceable scaffolding is the most useful. There it is. That's the last piece. To make a platform down below, what we're probably going to want to do is make ourselves a couple of other extra tools as well. We're going to want a bunch of things to work with. Because I've got so much cobblestone slabs are probably going to be my best bet for making a floor. So we'll make a whole bunch of those. And then I've used it a couple of times before. I don't know if I've shown off the actual recipe for it though. But a building wand is a very, very nice way of expanding your base really, really quickly. So to make a building wand, it is 2 sticks and then a material up top. So I think it is a diamond is going to be probably the best one you can craft. I think there is a creative version if you are in creative. But if we were to put cobblestone up here, we would get a cobblestone version as well. Maximum of 9 blocks for the cobblestone. Maximum of 27 blocks for the iron wand. I think the wood is probably only about, I don't actually have any wood on me. It doesn't do as many blocks at a time. And it's also not as strong a wand. So you end up, breaking it quite a bit quicker. So we'll make that. That's going to help us build our base down below. Now, there are a couple of different ways we can get down below our base. The easiest is going to be this water bucket method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little bit of a cubby hole up here. That's going to keep the water nice and neat, and it's not going to sort of spread out as it goes down. It's just going to be one nice column. We're going to go right click, and you can see it's going straight down. And then we're going to go very carefully pop into the water column, come out, and we're going to go down. We don't want to go down too far. Then we're going to go place ooh, that was dangerous. We're going to place one of our platforms right here. And now, again, holding the shift down, we can push it out into the different directions to build this out. And you know what? Let's go in this direction. 2, 3, 4, and then we're just going to go the exact same style that we did before. And how are we doing? This is going to be about 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is probably a good amount of space. So we can easily access the top, but we're not, so far down that we're going to be bumping our head on the ceiling. So once we're down here, again, what we can do is we can take things like our slabs. Now, slabs and the replaceable scaffolding work really, really interesting. If I right-click on the top of a replaceable scaffolding with a half slab, it puts it on the bottom, which is where we want it. We absolutely want it on the bottom here. If I place it on the side, it puts it on the top, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if there's a logic behind that I'm just not getting. But it's going to depend on how you want to use it when it comes to the half slabs. And actually, I didn't mean to break that one, but it worked out perfectly. All right, there we go. So we now have a platform underneath our world. All we need to do now is take our wand and we can go build out to make this as big or as small as we need to. Keep in mind, if you're not using the lower half slabs, press F7. It will show you your light levels. So if I go place a half slab on top of a half slab, I've got a full block. You can see the full block has now got a spawnable area. We don't want that. I'm actually going to tell you what, I'm actually going to torch that one up like that. Because you are going to want some light down here, but the half slabs keep the mobs from spawning, in pretty much any area. And then, yeah, so all we got to do is build out as we will and, make our underground little level there. So I could go into our task book, build a second level to your island below the level you started from. And you know what? That's going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you found this useful. Hopefully you found this enjoyable. If you did, please think about leaving a like and a subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Jackel Wolf. Also, check out the description below. There'll be a link to my Discord page. I would love it if you guys stop by to say hi, as well as be a link to my Patreon page. If you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy this content you want to support, stop by, check it out. There are a lot of great perks out there for all of my supporters. But that is it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.